Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Here we have Jared on Blue Red Delver, and I'm on the other side playing Cephalid Breakfast. Theme Vents for Jared, coming into play tapped. Neither deck really coming out swinging. And an end step Brainstorm. He's a Narcomoeba card that you generally want in your deck, but hey, it's blue. It does at least pitch to Force of Will. Now we have a Cabal Therapy, and it's going to get fought over. So Jared throwing a daze at it. And that means he's got a pair of Force of Wills in hand. He also has a pair of Murktide Regents. So a 1-drop creature could be a big problem. For example, just casting a Nomads might merit getting both of those Murktides out of hand as well. Now that's a lot more in the control route than you might want to go with this deck. Wasteland, getting rid of that Underground Sea. I believe this may have been a Mull and a 1-lander. Feels like I would have played that Polluted Delta on that second turn. No real strong reason to open yourself up to Wasteland. Probably just top decked a land after having a single land. Also makes a little bit of sense with that way the Cabal Therapy worked out, dazing to be able to replay that land. Second land drop. And here we go, Murktide Regent. We know there's 2 in hand. Thankfully, they're not super useful in multiples in the early stages of the game. Not having the cards to delve out. Of course, you know, future Murktides, even if you're only delving a couple of cards, totally fine. Paying 4 mana for a 5/5, for example. Acceptable. Brainstorm gets dazed. Jared can tell a land screw situation. Aether Vial coming to the rescue. Trying to bail things out. Big part of the reason why the deck is light on mana. 17 total mana sources. Current build 4 Aether Vials. Also possible to configure it with 18 lands and 3 Aether Vials. Not gonna fight you too much on that. I personally think the Aether Vials are better than the 18th land, or the extra Aether Vial, as they can be useful in multiples, particularly when using Stoneforge Mystic. A Lightning Bolt. Revealed Delver of Secrets. Setting a very legit clock here. So end of turn. Looking to bounce Aether Vial. That's going to be worth fighting over. So Force of Will trying to stop it. Dead on the crackback here. Cephalid comes in. It's a little bit of fun here. So Cephalid came in and then actually activating Aether Vial. Jared has to respond with Lightning Bolt there. Now, if you look at my hand, I actually didn't have it. But what that did create was a potential to mill a couple of Narcomoebas and survive for one more turn, where you could potentially Brainstorm into the nuts. I mean, we're talking about a 1% type situation there. But yeah, a pair of Narcomoebas would have been able to block both Delvers. He did have a Bolt in hand, so I would have to bolt twice. I would have to block both Delvers. Have a single Bolt, so I'd have 3 points of life left to work with. Super small corner case. Of course, when those come together, your opponent never really recovers. It seems impossible to win from there. Especially when they gave you the Narcomoebas by bolting your Cephalid. Good times. Didn't work out. On to the next game. All right, another mulligan here. And leading out with a Ponder, seeing land step through. And it's going to be good enough. Step through can go find the Cephalid or Athas's Oracle if there's graveyard hate. Tremendous addition to the deck. We've got Wasteland taking out that Tundra. The Delver of Secrets. Fetching. And a Cavern for a Stoneforge. I don't know if that's going to be uncounterable. Don't really have a way of telling. Could be. And if I remember correctly, I think this is actually done for science here. I think we're going to grab Cauldra and see if it can actually win a race in Legacy. So far, I've been very unimpressed with Cauldra. Considered going back to Batterskull. And am currently running Lion Sash. Waste takes out the Tundra. Gonna need another source. Is there. Stoneforge brings in the hasty Cauldra. It swings in there for 5. And right now, Artifact, Instant Sorcery, Artifact, Land. We've got Delirium. The 3-turn clock on both sides, but Jared's got the first swing. So not actually going to win the race. Going to need some removal. And there is some. There's a Swords to Plowshares in hand. So we can have Swords plus Force backup, it looks like. Swords, is it going to resolve? It does. Down to 10, taking 6 a turn, so 2 more swings from Cephalid Breakfast. Cauldra, theoretically at its best in this type of matchup where Murktide can't really stand in front of it. Down to 5. Looking to Petty Theft to bounce the Germ token. And Force keeps it around. Storm finds Force plus blue card. Down to 4. 3 in the air. So the blue card not really relevant here, being at 1 life. Got a Brainstorm in response to the Bolt. And then another Bolt. So yeah, Cauldra not able to outrace Blue-Red Delver, which is really the main reason the equipment is in there. Is to be able to beat these type of decks when you have it on a fairly open board. I'll let you know how Lion Sash goes in future videos when I get it on camera. But Cauldra, so far, hasn't been amazing. I think I actually won a lot more games with Batterskull previous to the Paradigm Shift sideboard plan.